Me.
And welcome to Happy Hour. It's Friday. Thank God we made it.
Free day.
Woo! I'm Ryan Brecklin. This is Tom Selmont. Vinny is producing today.
Yo.
Hi, Vinny.
Hello.
Hey, what
Hello,
happens if you're not here to produce?
We just hit the buttons ourselves and move on.
You like go to the cell cam
Maybe
footage. It looks like Paranormal Activity.
Sure.
Shane or Janet gets a promotion, I guess.
All right, so today we're opening something special. Tom went bourbon hunting. We're going to talk about the auction and what's going on for the upcoming sale in June. And then we're going to look at some of the bottles that are in that sale and talk a little bit about those. But before we do that, Tom is going to pour us some of what he found. What is this?
Good score for 200. This is Old Carter. It's batch CT1, Connecticut 1.
It's bourbon.
Bourbon. This is
Okay.
the bourbon small batch. It's a small batch. There's only 300 bottles.
Okay, well, that's what Old Carter's famous for.
Yep. And it was picked by a company called Skurnik, which is a distributor.
Yeah, New York, right?
New York, but they service New York, Connecticut, and a whole bunch of other states.
Okay.
So, the color is decent. Old Carter's got a name. I would imagine this was picked pre-divorce.
You never know, but let's try it and see.
Or
what
at
it's
least
like.
it was barreled pre-divorce, so...
I'll let you do the honors. Hopefully, you
Alright.
get a good cork pop and a pour on there.
We'll see there, yeah. Okay.
All right, no, you're supposed to show your face.
Well,
So like that and smile. Oh, that's a good thumbnail right there. There you go. It's almost like you learned from the last one. Yeah, go ahead, Shane. You can put the next bottle coming up on there, and we'll get to this Scotch here in a minute. But before that, June auction. We are at 600 lots right now.
Yeah, that's good.
I think today is deadline day. So we are always consigning. Every single month we're going to have an auction the first Sunday of every month. Apparently, even if there's a holiday. I don't know what happens when it
my
falls
God.
exactly on a holiday. All right, Tom's pouring. Off mic, of course.
I did the pop. You missed the pop.
I heard
Okay.
glug glug in the mic.
Mm.
I'll give you a glug. Nope, just a glass clink. All right, we'll send it this way. I think that's better to get it to come back around towards Tom. And nice color. Sort of a, what do we call that, a chestnut?
It's not as dark. It's more of an amber. It's a good solid amber.
Nice nose. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it smells like a good bourbon.
Yeah, floral, berries.
Yeah, I do. I do get flowers on that. Maybe it's because it's spring and there's pollen everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't smell anything then.
Tree splooge is killing me.
Oh my God, the layer of green film on my car after one day.
Mm.
Okay, we'll wait till everybody has a glass and we'll do a toast.
It's got a very unique. It's almost like it's finished in something other than oak, but I know it's a good oak. It's like a uncharred oak.
All right, everybody have one?
Yeah.
Well, cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.
Cheers.
To you. Thank you to the buyers and sellers.
Tink tink.
I got a
That's very
sweet
good.
oak on that.
Sweet oak. Very flagrant
Some
oak.
honey. I'm impressed.
I am too.
I would not be upset at a $200 retail price. In fact, I think that might be higher at auction.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the old Carters get into that 300-ish range, 250, 350. But earlier batches, highly reviewed and revered batches, some are 500, 600, 700. Oh,
So-
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Very, very complex. I don't think it's an old bourbon, but it's a very, it's got an old soul.
There's stuff going on.
There's stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Long finish.
Yeah.
Long
Mhm.
finish.
Very
Oh,
viscous. Look at the legs in that sucker.
I'd say for the last couple of weeks, the type of bottles that we've opened, that's one of my favorites.
Agree.
So Old Carter,
So I've been
CT
seeing
Batch 1.
I've been seeing it around town for $230, and I was like, eh. And it's actually been out for a while. I got this from a place up in Granby, nice little store, Cork and Keg, I think it was.
Okay.
Nice guy. It was up. He has a little top shelf with all the stuff on it. I said, hey, how much for the old card? He goes, 200. I said, sold.
There you go. Good score.
Yeah. He has a rye as well, if anybody's looking.
So let's talk about this Scotch I have on the bottle cam right now.
I like the orange box.
Yeah, that's a special edition tin. But before we get to what this is upcoming in our June auction, I'd like to ask you, Tom, how would you pronounce the name of this Scotch?
Do you want me to intentionally butcher it or actually?
No, I want you to if you know the actual way to
Okay.
say it, I'd like you to do it.
I'm gonna just pronounce it how I would say it. Glenmorangie.
Like a French person.
Yes.
Glenmorangie. All right, Vinny, you want to take a crack at this?
I have three. I'm of three mindsets with this.
Well, just if we were just having a conversation about scotches that begin with G, shout out a name. What would you say?
So if it's Scotch, that's obviously should be pronounced Scottish.
Right.
So I don't
Sean
Glen
Connery.
Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie.
When I say to Shane, I say Glenmorangie.
That's what. That's
Like
what
the
I,
Glenmorangie.
most American
Yes,
way
yes.
you could possibly
Thank you,
bastardize it.
Vinny. I'm
Yeah.
on the same page with you on that one.
Shane's off camera. Do you want to take a stab at this, or do you not want to embarrass yourself?
I would probably just say Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie. All right, Janet, you want to come over on the mic and try it, or no?
Just
She
shout it
says
out.
no.
She
She
just
said Glen.
yeah. I heard Glenmorangie.
Which might be pretty accurate because it's Scottish.
Yes, it just looks Scottish. It's got a class more
All right.
Glenmorangie.
So a woman who I follow on Instagram, who I think is just a star, is her name is the Duchess of Isla, and she.
She really Duchess of Isla.
Well, I don't know if she's a Duchess or not, but she's a smoke show. So let me,
Most-
Vinny, if you can
most
get her on
parl-
the screen, I'll have you flash a picture of the
Most-
Duchess of Isla.
Most royalty is not smoke show. So
She dresses nice. She's very beautiful. She wears short skirts, good pair of legs, and she does the pronunciations of the scotches so that you know what it sounds like.
Oh,
And
okay, great.
I'm actually going to play this brand of scotch for you, how she would pronounce it.
And now, she is from Scotland.
I don't remember.
All right, hit it.
All right.
Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie.
Was I right?
Yeah, that's phonetic. Pronunciate.
Glenmorangie.
Oh,
Glenmorangie.
You said Glenmorangie or something like that. Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
I don't want to say it with the accent because it sounds forced, and that's not
Right.
my accent. I feel
We're
like I'm putting on a
New
voice.
England Yanks.
Stop
we pronounce
culturally
it.
appropriating.
Anyway, shout out to the Duchess of Isla. Her videos are great. We'll show you some more, Tom, where she puts on some outfits. So you might want to start
Where's the
following
Glenn
her.
Farkless?
She does Star Wars outfits. She does.
I'm gonna follow her.
I
Where's
Dream
she-
of
she on
Jeannie.
Insta?
Insta, Duchess of Isla.
All right.
All right, this bottle is coming up in our auction now. It is the 14-year Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban. It's aged in port cask and ex-bourbon cask, and highly rated, very delicious. It's usually available. You can find a 14-year around, but this is a special edition in the Giraffe tin. Vinny picked this one.
I like
today.
that tin a lot. I don't know why. It's very eye-catching, very classy looking, but serious.
It is in support for the Giraffe Foundation. So it's conservation for giraffes, and the company is making a donation and raising awareness through their packaging.
Nice.
Yeah.
What sound does a giraffe make?
Ooh, Google it, somebody.
No, let's stay on track. Okay. Next bottle. Shane, why don't we look at something different because they're already talking about giraffe sounds. I went through the upcoming bottles in the June auction. I'm trying to find some different things that we haven't featured on the show so that we have some interesting things to talk about. This bottle is sort of multifaceted. It's not a big or a well-known producer, but it's a cool packaging.
Gold
Northside,
wax.
gold wax,
It's worth at least $100.
and I believe this Northside distillery is in Ohio, and they are making distillate, but it's not ready. So it looks like they're sourcing from Indiana, which would mean
MGP.
right.
Which I was told MGP has changed their name too.
They have it, but in the business, everybody refers to it as MGP. So this has a tater sticker on it, the honey edition. So it was honey finished MGP. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show this to you and talk about it is not just that that's probably good being a honey finished MGP,
Mm-hmm.
but that it's got a tater sticker on a distillery bottle.
I was just going to ask you if that came from the factory like that.
So what the taters will do, these are illegal secondary sellers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Go ahead and do whatever you want. Have fun. If you need a legal way to do it, that's what we offer. They'll take bottles of Weller Antique 107, open it, put it in their own barrel, and put some kind of finish on it, often honey.
And you're hoping this dude is making a good batch.
Yeah, well, this is now kitchen finished whiskey, right? Or porch finished whiskey.
Bathtub gin.
Finished in New Jersey.
The Hoboken.
Yeah, the Hoboken edition.
Give me one of those. Give me a shot of Hoboken. So technically, we can't sell those bottles. So if someone in their house opens it, pours it into a barrel, leaves it there for a couple of weeks, puts it back in the bottle, seals it, and puts wax over the top of it, it's no longer legal for us. It doesn't fit into our permit.
Okay, so how are we selling this one?
This is from a distillery with a tater label on it. They did the honey finishing at the bottling company.
Who's this distiller? Northside?
Northside Distilling Company from Ohio.
Ohio.
So I just wanted to make that point that if someone comes into us and they want to consign bottles that were made in someone's kitchen or basement,
Yeah, please don't.
No.
we can't. Now, we'll be happy to relieve you of those bottles in the name of science and taste them and tell everyone how wonderful they are.
Until we catch the hantavirus or something.
The hantavirus. Everyone's upset about the hantavirus. You know, you can't. You're not going to get it from everybody. It's not really human transmissible.
I'm the least person concerned about it.
Okay, so that's coming up in June.
I think it's mostly me.
Yeah, you seem
You're
super paranoid.
Germaphobe?
hypochondriac or
Yeah.
whatever they call it. Yeah. Which is fine. I'm
All
gonna
right, let's take a look at the next one. A bottle that's worth discussing because it's I don't want to say experimental, but it's a feature that Wild Turkey does.
Mhm.
Wild Turkey barrels some bottles under the label Single Rickhouse.
Yeah, okay.
And we've seen these before.
So it's a small batch that occurred from all barrels in the same rickhouse.
Sort of. I wanted to check into this not knowing if it was perhaps a single barrel. It is not. It is a small batch.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing is they're showcasing Wild Turkey. Let me back up. Wild Turkey only has one mash bill for bourbon and one mash bill for rye.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't change much of anything at the still. It's the same yeast strain. It's the same mash bill. Everything else they do is either Rickhouse based or finishing. And Jimmy's not a fan of finishing, even though his son and grandson are, and they want to experiment. Jimmy likes bourbon flavored bourbon. So
I don't blame him. I could see that. I could.
the Master's Keep is the place where they've done some finishing. But this is not finished. And what their goal with this was to show you the difference in what a Rickhouse geographic location, floor, and sunlight exposure does to the same distillate across the board.
Well, they always say the magic in bourbon is the rickhouse and the aging.
And sometimes it's the spot in the Rickhouse.
Right. Well, we always joke about how there's one barrel it's got raindrops hitting it. There's another barrel it's in full sun, and so on and so forth.
These are from Camp Nelson, which is the batch of Rickhouses away from the distillery.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Seagram's. In fact, I think in some places you can still see Seagram's written on the wall.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
These are wood-clad walls, so the air comes through the walls. They're not solid walls. The air is constantly moving through the Rickhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do a Google map search of Camp Nelson, you can see that the position of the Rickhouses changes on the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that the shade at different times of year hits the Rickhouse is different. So you're going to get a completely different flavor profile based on a Rickhouse that sees full sun or that sees full shade.
Yep.
This is, I believe, coming up in our June auction, a 2025 Camp Nelson B,
And these
matured
go-
on floor 6.
These go for big
2024,
bucks.
sorry.
This is don't those go for what, $300 to $500?
I think it's 100 to 150 in the store when you find it at retail.
Mhm.
If you do, we get 3 to 5
Yeah.
based on the different years.
Yeah.
I purchased one, I think at $375, and it's been sitting on my shelf. And I always look at it and go, when I want to open something special, I'm going to open that. And then I go, well, I can't. More than that, higher. Jenna says higher.
What's the other one too? That's is it Fort Nelson?
This
Or-
is Fort Nelson Reserve is the distillery only release.
Okay.
believe.
Yep.
No, Camp Nelson. Fort Nelson is Michter's. Sorry.
Okay, I'm mixing up my distillers here.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, Shane, you had something?
Well, we had one sell in April, and it sold for $425.
$425. Okay, thanks for the correction. And this one is coming up. Very little of this gets out.
No,
I think they're super small batches.
and I think even the biggest connoisseurs of bourbon, they appreciate these kind of things. These one offs or rare bottles. So like I found an old Carter. An old Carter's got all kinds of batches, and you'll get an old Carter of some sorts. Single Rickhouses, very limited. People tuck them away.
This is the 2024, and it's Camp Nelson B floor 6. So high elevation, higher on the hill, lots of sunlight, and looks like 120 proof. The 2025 edition, I don't know if we've seen one of those yet, was from a cooler, shady spot and went to 128 proof. So that's interesting how it happens.
Do you think I just had an idea. Do you think they have a way, if they really want to get scientific, put a sensor on the barrel so you can say, all right, well, this was exposed to this heat and this humidity and this and that and everything else?
I'm pretty sure that a place like MGP, which I think heat cycles their warehouse, meaning they blow air up and down.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of metal rickhouses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that they maintain data on it.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure that Buffalo Trace Experimental Collection, that they're doing all of the distillery releases like the Single Oak Project and that sort of thing. I'm very sure they have detailed data on what goes in.
I could see some very scientific chemists. This one had humidity and high humidity in August and very, very cold July, and that makes it more desirable to them.
The era of high data whiskey is upon us.
Yeah.
They are using it, but think about it. A whiskey that's now 15 years old, it's been in the barrel for 15 years. You won't have the same level of data on that barrel as you do the one you're distilling today, and you decide to track through the whole process.
Right. So you're 20 years out from 10 to 20 years out.
Well, I'm sure AI will totally screw up whiskey at some point.
What if we asked AI, we gave him a location, say Rickhouse, Nelson, and say, give me the weather data for the last 20 years on that Rickhouse?
Well, it's going to be a group of Rickhouses, but they kind of already know. Think of Coy Hill with Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Think of the magical spots for Blanton's.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of already know what works. We've been doing this for 200 years of making American whiskey, so.
Did you hear that Buffalo Trace just released a new 4-grain, E.H. Taylor 4-grain?
I heard about it on the secondary market the day it came out. I believe Gift Shop release.
Gift Shop release, I think, was yesterday or the day before, and there was a whole...
There was bottles on secondary, on a Facebook secondary that night.
The guy was taking a picture of the gift shop and selling it, probably.
They posted it from their cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, I've seen somebody do that at a liquor store. Oh, my God.
I have too.
It's only the second time 4 grains come out, right? Previous was 2017.
Correct. It's been quite a while since they had a 4-grain come out. So,
well, I hope we find one, and I hope we get to open it and taste it. But it's already pushing 600-700, I think. 600-700.
So that's what I was gonna say. The original 4 grains are between 600 and 800. So
we're pushing over 850 on a couple of them in the auction. Yeah.
Oh, now it's batch 1.
Well, people are going to want to compare batch 1 to batch 2. So maybe I think we saw a steady uptick of 4 grains over the last 6 months. Maybe some early ones going at 7 and then moving all the way up to 8 or 850 in auction. So who knows?
Do you think we're going to see a batch 2 of Russell's 15?
According to the label on Russell's Reserve 15, that was the only release that they were going to do. And then when Beacon came out the following year, Beacon featured 16-year Wild Turkey distillate mixed with 10-year. So they might have just moved right past it. Maybe they'll do something with the same barrels at 17 years. But
I heard a long time ago, and it could be total rumor BS, that they were standardizing the Russells. So you're going to have a 13 and a 17. And 15 was just, hey, let's sell something this year.
The 15 was magical, though.
Of course it was. But I don't know. What do I know? You know?
All right, so we're ready to close up consignments for the June auction. If you have anything, it's going to make it to July, but don't ever wait. If you go, hey, I'd like to make it to the next auction, just bring it down while you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody always asks, when's the best time to bring it? And it's always, if you're picking up bottles, drop off bottles. Come on down. If we're closer to happy hour, we might even share a pour with you.
Best days to end in Y.
There you go.
So
I'm Ryan, Tom, Vinny. Shane was in the background working the bottles for you. It's happy hour. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy. It's supposed to be gorgeous this weekend.
Drive safe. Cheers.